Welcome to the beginning of my coaching career in college football 25. In this series, I'll be working my way up the coaching ranks, starting out as an offensive coordinator and hopefully being able to build a coaching resume strong enough to take over my own program and win that coveted national championship. This entire series will be controlled by you, the viewer, with your first decision needing to be made at the end of this video. The only decision I'll be making in this series is where my coaching career begins, and with that, I had a few qualifications that would need to be met for me to select a school. The main one being that I wanted to be one of the new 9 teams in the game, and the last being that I wanted to be a 1-star school. After careful consideration and looking over the teams, I decided that I would begin my coaching career in North Carolina, taking over the OC position at the Charlotte football program. Now, enough of me explaining. Be sure to subscribe and let's jump into this thing. Now, with me becoming an offensive coordinator, I think the best story for me is picking tactician, as I want to boost my players' ratings on game day. Buster Biggs is ready to take the offensive reins, and for my playbook, I'm going to go multiple to start things off. I may switch it throughout this series, but I'm going to start with this because I want to give myself tons of opportunity and tons of different offenses to run. But look at that face. Buster Biggs definitely looks like he's ready and not nervous at all. When deciding which team I wanted to take over, one of the biggest things was looking at Charlotte's record the last several years. They have not had really any good seasons whatsoever besides 2019, which was their only season finishing over 500 since 2013. Now, with us being the offensive coordinator, I'm not going to focus too much on recruiting. I won't be doing any recruiting until I took over a school as a head coach, so I'm going to let the AI do all of the recruiting themselves. And I think with our first coach points, I'm going to try to unlock all of the abilities for the passing game to upgrade our quarterback. I mean, quarterback's the most important position. How could I not do that, especially because we're on the offensive side of the ball? And I think it's a good time to look at what the coaching trees for Tim Ellis are, our head coach, and it looks like he's mainly a master motivator, but also has some recruiting as well. And he doesn't have a lot of levels, but at least they are all on the offensive side of the ball for recruiting. And when it comes to motivation, he actually has a decent amount of points, which will help getting them off-season boosts. And thankfully, our defensive coordinator has some more points in tactician as well, with most of it being defense, which is understandable. Now, without making any adjustments to our schedule, it looks like this is what the 49ers schedule is going to be like coming into next year, which not a lot of tough teams, but we aren't that good of a school. And with us coming in at a 78 overall, it's time to look at the roster that we're going to be dealing with for at least one season, maybe two. We'll see how things go. And it looks like this team's going to be led by sophomore redshirt Max Brown. I can work with this. His speed being an 83 is definitely going to help things out. And it looks like our running backs are going to be splitting carries, with both of them being an 81 overall. And looking at this wide receiver room, it looks like most of our players are actually decently quick, with their tendency being deep threat. And it's great because I love when that ball is deep. Pause. And I believe Colin Weber is our best player on the team, being an 84 overall tight end, which is great because I love getting the tight end involved in my offense. And he is a junior, so we should have him for at least one more year if we are here next year. And after taking a look at the offensive line, our best player is a 76 overall. I'm not expecting too much from this team, but I can work with that. And in case you didn't know, the Charlotte football program is currently in the AAC, and this is some of the other teams that we're going to have to play against. None of them being too amazing, but there are some good teams in here like UAB and Tulane for sure. We do also have the military schools. I didn't realize the Navy and the Army are both in this conference now. I think it should also be mentioned that for this series, I will be jumping into every game during the season, and each video I'm only going to be getting through one season at a time. I'm excited for this first game against James Madison. We'll see how this team looks. And it looks like on our first offensive possession of the year, our defense has already set us up in great field position. This stadium looks really cool with that building in the background. We're going to try to look to the outside first. We're just going to throw it over the middle, and we've already got a flag. Let's see what the flag is. Yeah, and Holding's going to take that thing back. That would have been a great way to start this video. It would be really unfortunate if we don't get a touchdown after what happened on that first play. We should have already had one. We're going to slide that line to the right. I think I'm going to roll it to the right side and see what kind of wheels our quarterback has. And we're going to throw over the middle and, yeah, get the touchdown. Perfect first drive of the series. All right, starting off on the other side of the field this time, we're going to see what we can do. Throwing it over the seam. I like doing those mesh routes a lot because I feel like in this game, opening up the field horizontally is a great way to get yardage, and we're going to get a decent run here. On 3rd and inches, I'm going to go for something a little riskier with the jet touch pass. So this is going to open up the field horizontally again, and we're just going to cut up the middle. Get a huge big play right there. That jet touch pass is way too good. All right, if we get enough blocking on this play, this could be a huge play to Weber over the middle. That's what I'm going to be looking at. We'll see if it's man-to-man. It is, and we're going to have him. Just make that throw. What a throw. Can he outrun the guy? He can't, but good play. All right, let's see if we can capitalize on this long drive by getting a score at the very end of this thing. We're going to pass it to our running back, who's going to get close, and we're just going to try the pad into the QB sneak to get this thing done. There we go. And on our very next drive, we're going to go all the way down the field yet again and get another score. Throughout this second half, we're definitely going to focus on running the ball more and trying to kill a lot of clock. We have a decent lead in this game. I don't want to blow that for sure. And running out the clock is exactly what we're going to do. We didn't score in that second half, but I'm fine with that. And honestly, we had a really good game from sophomore quarterback Max Brown to open things up. 83% completion percentage? Dang. I did throw 2 picks, but we don't talk about that. That game would give us 30 coaching points, which means I'm definitely going to rank up my quarterback all the way. And I think after that, the most important thing is offensive line. So I'm going to spend the last 3 points on this. And we already almost have our offensive line and quarterback fully maxed out. But with that quarterback boost, Max Brown is a base 76 overall, but he's jumped up to 79 because of those boosts. And those upgrades didn't stop there, as our offensive line has also jumped up 1 overall in every position. And yeah, since Charlotte is based out of North Carolina, it's no surprise that we're playing the Tar Heels. Unfortunately, we're going to be playing them away. And with Buster Biggs starting his coaching career in North Carolina, this may be one of the teams that he wants to go to eventually. I mean, just look at how clean the helmets and jerseys look for UNC. They actually look so good. I'm just saying, hint, hint, Buster Biggs may want to play there eventually. We'll see if we get an offer. That may be way down the line, though. And it's a night game, too. This looks so amazing. I don't think I've played with the Tar Heels yet in this game, but this definitely looks like a beautiful stadium, and playing at night's going to be awesome. This is going to be way different than playing James Madison at home. And it's going to be up to that man, Max Brown, to lead us to another good game. He played really good last game, so I'm hoping he can do it again. Honestly, when it comes to playing bigger schools, I think the best thing is trying to keep the ball in the air. We do have some really fast running backs as well, just like a Kelman. I mean, just got some breakaway speed. And this game definitely makes it known when you are playing on the road, which I love that about. This makes you not want to play those bigger schools, that's for sure. Also, before I forget to mention, we are playing on Heisman difficulty before anyone questions it. All right, on 3rd and 2, we're going to try that jet pass. I don't think we can beat them up the middle because they are definitely more powerful than we are, but we're going to try this, opening it up. We're going to miss the block. Does he have enough speed? Thomas Jr. is going to get close and just barely get it. Thank you. I would hate for this drive to stall out now, but after taking a sack on 2nd down, we're just going to take what we got. Yeah, we're just going to go for the field goal. That's fine. Now, as long as I don't mess this up, we'll be all good, and that meter is moving pretty quick, but we're going to get that. Yeah, that should be good. Up by 3 early. Ever since that first drive in the game, we have been struggling tremendously as we haven't scored, and we're currently down 14-3 in the second half. We cannot get anything on the run game. It means we're going to have to keep things in the passing attack, and I'm honestly okay with that, especially because we're using our running backs anyways. Kelman is really good out of the backfield. And taking a look at our team stats, our quarterback has thrown 3 interceptions, and I want that to be known. That's all through simulation. I did not throw those. I would admit it if I did, unfortunately. But through these games, I will be simulating some of it to see how our team does without me playing with them directly, and it looks like through this one it has not been good. But on the run, he's going to make that throw. He's going to get dropped. All right, on 3rd and long, we may have Weber on the left side. We're not going to. We do have triangle. The arm's not going to be big enough, but I cheesed it. Okay, I cheesed it, okay? We probably shouldn't have gotten that last play, but I'm okay with it. And Circle did get bumped, but we're still going to get that pass over the middle, and we're getting down the goal again. If we have any chance in this game, we have to get a touchdown on this drive. We cannot stall out again like we did last time. We're going to have a guy just catch it. I have no idea what is happening here. Our defense has been playing so good this game. We're only down by 1 point, and we're going to be able to take the lead right here. I have no idea what's going on. We're going to try to get this 2-point conversion to go up by 7 points. We're going to try Circle, and perfect. We're up by 7. All right, we're going to skip this play-by-play and see. In 2 plays, they gave up a touchdown. Okay, looks like we're going to get the ball back with 37 seconds left. We haven't had too much problems when I step in on moving the ball down the field, but the only issue is that I do it kind of methodically. I do take my time, like doing these little passes over the middle. Okay, I'm going to try to find Olsen streaking over the middle. We're going to have nobody. I'm going to step up. I'm going to throw him up. We're going to have him to see if he makes that throw. And oh my gosh, that was amazing. Now, the only thing is I have to make this kick. And this meter is so hard to gauge where the kick is going. I'm going to hope that that's over to the side enough. And I'm going to get good. Just make sure. Okay, we're up by 3. And I honestly have no idea how we won this game against one of the better teams that we're going to play against this entire season. Look at Dwayne Thomas Jr. with an insane game. Holy crap. The craziest thing to me is that through simulation, Max Brown threw 3 interceptions. And I have no idea how UNC wasn't able to capitalize on those 3 turnovers. We do have tons more of coaching points, so like I said, I'm going to max out our offensive line, and I think I'm going to put the next 3 upgrades into our receivers, upgrading most of their abilities. And starting off 2-0 is crazy because, like I said, I think UNC is one of the more difficult teams we're playing this year besides some in-conference opponents. And if we lose to FCS East Astronauts after that win against USC, I might throw myself off a 2-foot ledge. And our team must still be on the high of that last win because we are currently losing in the second half to an FCS squad. I don't know what's going on, but we have a guy over the top and he's going to underthrow him. Now, for playing against this team, we're definitely have to use our speed to our advantage, and I know we have some fast players on this team. We just got to make those throws, just like that one right there. We somehow broke away. We're going to find our tight end, and Weber's honestly the best player on this team. He's so good. And after scoring that touchdown, it looks like our offense is finally starting to wake up as we've gotten some big plays, and we're going to find Dwayne Thomas. This guy's honestly such a monster, and it looks like driving all the way down the field, we're going to be able to capitalize to him yet again. And our team finally did wake up, but the game should have still not been that close. And Dwayne Thomas again had himself another crazy game. And unlocking 10 more coach points, we're going to max out our receiving and tight end group and start working on running back. Looking at our schedule, we're currently sitting at 3-0 with our next toughest opponent coming up in Indiana. And they are higher overall than us, but we'll see how we do when we get in the game. And playing a Big Ten opponent is never going to be an easy thing, no matter which team it is. And after simulating this game, it looks like we're somehow going to beat. We put up 45 points on a Big Ten school just simulating. That's insane. What a high scoring game from that. I don't even know what to say. This team is just unstoppable. Even when I simulate most of it, we still somehow pull out a win against a Big Ten opponent that was undefeated at the time. We put up 28 in the second quarter. And Max Brown finally had a game where he did not throw an interception. And it looks like they couldn't stop us through anything. Dwayne Thomas was actually silenced a little bit in this game, but it doesn't matter because we had Justin Olsen who went off. And it looks like going into conference play, only us and a couple other schools in our conference are still undefeated. With one of those schools being Rice, and we're going up against them this week. But before we get into that, we got more coaching points, so we're going to fully upgrade all of our running back boosts. Like I said, I think I'm going to unlock the recruiting tab when I do have enough points available. And this is going to be a great way to open up conference plays. We have two 4-0 teams going against each other, and I have no idea how we're sitting at 4-0. Charlotte must be an underground 99 overall team that I didn't know about. And if we continue to have a really good season, we may have some amazing job offers by the end of this first year that we may be able to select from. But I'm probably getting too ahead of myself, and I just need to focus on the game right now. We're going to have Weber on the left side. Just make that catch. And so far in our first drive, everything's been going good. We're going to be looking at Dwayne Thomas on that corner route, and he's going to beat him. That guy is so good. There is something about this Charlotte football team's defense that we just get tons of stop every single game. And like our offense is just doing really good right now. Look at that spin move. What is this team? Now I swear to you, I am playing on Heisman difficulty. I already showed you guys I did not change it, and we're gonna go up by 14. And this team is absolutely insane. From that point on, Rice did not stand a chance besides them scoring 21 in the fourth. And Max Brown, besides those terrible passing yards, had a pretty good game. And he looked really good, not throwing a single interception. Even our backup quarterback got a touchdown. Like, we're just looking really good right now. You know what's crazy is this is the first American Player of the Week that we've had, and it's on the defensive side, even though we've had some crazy offensive performances. We do have some more coaching points. I think I'm going to start pumping points into recruiting. We're not really going to focus on this too much when we're offensive coordinator, but like I said, this is for the long run when we become a head coach, hopefully in a couple seasons. And that game was a great way to start off conference plays. We're currently sitting at the top, but I know we still have a long way to go. With our next game coming against East Carolina, and they have some of the nicest helmets in this game. I tell you what, it's nice to be back at our home stadium because I feel like it's been a while since we've played here. And surprisingly, so far, this game has been one of our more difficult games of the season as we're currently tied in the fourth quarter, only at 17. We've been struggling on offense so far, and defense has been doing pretty good though. And I'm going to watch Thomas on this corner route. He may have it. We'll see. He has. Oh my gosh, Thomas is so good. But ECU would score back, tying up this game yet again. We're going to try to make this the last possession, but because we've been running the ball really well this game actually. And this drive has been going exactly how we've wanted it to go so far, as we've been driving all the way down the field. Norton's going to get a big play on first. And I'm definitely liking this multiple offense playbook so far, as we have tons of different options when it comes to the offensive side, and we're going to score again. And that would do it, extending our winning streak. I can't say enough good things about Dwayne Thomas. Just look at these stats again. Through the first half of this season, we're sitting at a 6-0 record, which I did not expect. And coming up, we do have some tough games with the ranked one against Tulane and Memphis coming up in a couple weeks. And before we jump into our next game, it looks like we are actually ranked 25th in the nation. I can't believe we're doing this well so far in this first season. This makes no sense to me. But that doesn't matter right now, as we're continuing conference play against Navy. And there are not a lot of people at this game. I'm sorry, Navy, but it's really cool to see the presentation for one of these military schools. Picking things up towards the end of the first quarter, we've had some struggle moving the ball down the field so far, but we are moving on this drive here. And honestly, this offense has been a lot of fun to play with, as we have speed at every position, and we can run the ball and pass the ball at will on some of these teams. And just look at that run right there. This team is really fun to play with. Also, look at those chrome helmets. Those look amazing. And we're going to be looking to end this first half with a touchdown, going up by 2 possessions yet again. We're going to have the guy over, and he's going to be able to outrun him, getting another score. And from that point on, we didn't really slow down, as we would end up winning by 17 points. And Max Brown, 95% completion percentage. He's having himself a crazy good year. He would end up going 21 for 22 with no interceptions. That is an insane game. And I did simulate some of it too, so that was him as well. And with us having more coaching points, I'm going to start throwing them into recruiting yet again, as I said I was going to do. And that last win would push us up to top 20 in the nation, as we're currently sitting at 19th. And in terms of conference play, the only undefeated teams left are Tulane, Memphis, and us. But that's going to change this week, as we're playing Memphis, who actually is a pretty good overall. Picking things up in the second quarter, we currently find ourselves up by 1 score with our offense getting the job done. Make that throw a beautiful throw to Mac. And if we keep winning, we may have a chance to play in the conference championship at the end of the season, which would for sure give us a lot more job offers at the end of this year, which you guys would be able to pick from. And I'm going to try to find someone over the middle. We're going to have Weber, who's one of my favorite targets. This guy is so good. I know it seems like this team is absolutely insane, and so far they have been this entire season. We do have Mac on the left side, and we may get another touchdown, but we haven't played any really good teams yet so far this year, besides maybe UNC. And after going up 21 early in the first half, our team would do a great job of holding that lead the rest of the game, as we would go on to win our 8th consecutive game to start this season. It was another great game from Max Brown, by the way. This guy is killing it. And with us only having 4 games left of the season, I think there's a real possibility that we do go undefeated, which would be unbelievable. And it also looks like Tulane did lose last week, which means they're no longer ranked. So we're going to see if we can keep our undefeated season alive. And look at how many more fans are in the stands towards the end of this year. I love that about this game, the dynamic stands. And there was nothing good to show from that first half, as we only scored 7 points, and our defense is surprisingly not performing that well. They've given up 23, and we're going to spend a majority of the rest of this game trying to pass the ball as we're trying to get back into this thing, but we're going to have to take it up the middle, take what they can give us at this point. And after doing that a majority of the way down the field, we're going to try to punch things in here with the QB sneak, and we're going to be able to do that. And I was hoping that would be the spark that this team needed to get back in this game, but our defense would give up a touchdown right away yet again. And even though our offense did turn on at the end of the game, it wouldn't matter, as that last score would put us too much under. Now that loss would drop us in the polls, as we're currently at 24th, with Tulane sitting at number 25. And in conference standings, we would also drop as well, as we're currently sitting at 3rd in our conference. We'll see how the rest of it plays out the rest of the season, but right now we're out of the conference championship. So hopefully against USF, our team shows up a little more. Those jerseys look so good. I know I've probably said it a dozen times, but I can't get over the jerseys in this game. They look so clean. So far through 2 quarters of this game, it has been back and forth with both defenses struggling on both sides of the ball. And to me, that's pretty surprising because it is raining right now, meaning it should be more difficult for the offenses. And after that last drive stalled out, our defense will give up another touchdown, meaning that we are currently down in the second half of another game, and we don't want to lose this one again. And after grinding it away on this possession, we're going to be looking to Thomas on the right side. He has a wide open man. Perfect. We're going to take that lead back. Now, our defense would give up a score, meaning we have to go down the field and get a touchdown if we want to avoid losing 2 games back to back, and we're going to need big plays from Dwayne just like that one. Now, along this drive, I will be killing clock and trying to make this the last drive of the game, which could be good or bad depending on how the rest of this one ends, but we'll see. Dwayne Thomas is such a monster, though. Thomas has been one of our best players all year, which means I'm for sure going to look at him, but we don't have him there. We're going to have our other guy, Mac, and hopefully that's the flag, not on us. And it looks like it's going to be holding on the offense. That's killer. And just like that, we're currently in a 3rd and long situation. We need a huge conversion here. We're just going to try to get the yards back and try to get on 4th down. And this could be the entire game right here. We're going to be looking on Mac on that corner route that he's running, and he's going to have a step, but I don't know what that throw was. What are we doing? I don't know why he lobbed it up that much. That's going to be the end of the game. And somehow that's not the end of the game. Our defense got to stop really quick, and we don't have any timeouts, which is fine. We're going to find Weber for a big play. He's going to, oh my gosh, and almost like that, we're in the red zone. Now I'm going to try to play it more safe than I did last drive. We're going to take what we got over the middle, which is what we normally do every single game, and that's going to get another 1st down. And I honestly can't believe that we actually have a chance to win this football game, especially with how poorly our defense has played through most of it. We're going to be getting really close to the end zone, and time is still ticking away. It is 2nd and goal. We're going to give it to our fullback and hopefully get the score here, and it looks like we're going to get the blocks, and we may win this game. And somehow we would go on to do that. I can't believe we actually won this thing. I thought that interception was going to be the end of it, but we were able to turn things up, and Max Brown, besides that one bad interception, had an amazing game, just like he's been doing all season, honestly. Now that win was pivotal in keeping our conference championship hopes alive, but we are still currently behind Tulane and Memphis. But I think if we win out, we can jump Memphis because we beat them earlier this year, but not Tulane, so we need them to lose one of their last couple games. But before worrying about that more, we have our next game against FAU coming up, and towards the end of the season, it seems like teams are starting to figure us out, as we're down again in the second half, needing more points on the board. Our defense has been doing pretty well this game, with our offense kind of stalling out here and there. And now that we're in the red zone, we're going to be trying to get that touchdown to punch this thing off. We're going to be taking off with our quarterback, who's going to get a 1st down. Just don't fumble. And it's been too long since Dwayne's touched the ball. We're going to run the jet pass to him, hopefully getting a touchdown. We can see you get the blocks on the outside. Yeah, this is going to be an easy touchdown. Good job. And on FAU's next offensive possession, they would fumble the ball on the goal line, meaning that we have the ball back with no time, meaning that we were able to kill the rest of the clock, getting our 10th win of the year. Now, Memphis and Tulane both did win last week, but we did jump them in the conference standings. And right now, we're currently sitting at number 15 in the nation, which is extremely high. But we're going to look to keep things going against UAB, as they're currently sitting at a good 8-3 record. Now, I'm going to need this team to wake up a little bit, as in the second half, we're currently down by 5 points. And even if we have clinched a conference championship spot, I do not want to lose another game. And what a play by Dwayne Thomas. He may be able to outrun him. I can't believe he got a touchdown there. That was not how that was supposed to go, but it worked. Haven't mentioned that this guy is absolutely amazing. Now, UAB would go down the field in the next possession and tie this game up at 22, meaning that all we need is a field goal to try to win this thing, so we're going to try to kill a lot of clock as we do it. But our drive would stall out on our side of the field, and UAB would go down and get another field goal, meaning that they have the lead currently, and we're going to try to go down and tie this thing up, or hopefully maybe get a touchdown. We're going to need some big plays from our big players. I'm going to be looking for Thomas on the left side. He does have a step, but we got the sack, and we're going to lose this game. That's terrible. Well, that's definitely not a good way to end the season, but we are still sitting at a decent 10-2 record. And actually, I just realized we're currently sitting third in our conference because Memphis won the game. So I think we actually might miss out on the conference championship. And that last loss is going to be devastating because we did, in fact, miss out on the conference championship. I thought that we had the lock, but I didn't even think about if Memphis won that game. And because they did, they are now ahead of us. And surprisingly, the SMU quarterback Preston Stone won the Heisman. I have not seen that yet. And the last game of our season is going to be in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl against Texas State. We're still ranked and they're not. I think we should win this one. And taking a look at our stats for the season, Max Brown had himself an amazing year. He did have a lot of interceptions, which did hold him back a little bit. On the rushing side of things, even though we didn't run too much, Teron Kelman had a great season. And then, of course, who else but Dwayne Thomas Jr. leading our team with 16 touchdowns and over 1,100 receiving yards. And before jumping into our game against Texas State, let's look at our job offers. And we currently only have the one from Akron who does want us to become a head coach. And we're going to jump into this game against Texas State. Now, at this being the last game of the season, I'm going to be taking a look at the job offers that we have following this game, and there may be some good ones, and it'll be up to you guys whether we stay for another year or leave. Now, I'm sure there'll be pros to staying, as if we do have another good season, we may even get better offers next year. But there may be a job offer that we receive that you guys think that I shouldn't pass up, but we'll see when we get to that point. We got to get through this game first. Let's just get the bowl win. And our first drive has been going really well so far. I'm going to be looking at Olsen on that right side. He does have his man beat, but I think he's going to be able to play that, and we're just going to throw it underneath to Myers and hopefully get that touchdown. Beautiful. Now, we find ourselves in a crucial 4th down position on this very next drive. We're going to try to run it up the middle, and we're going to get some blocks and get that score. Now, our offense throughout this game has done a great job of moving the ball down the field, and we're going to find Dwayne Thomas for another big gain. Now, luckily for us, if we do decide to stay at Charlotte for another season, a lot of our players will be returning and tuning Dwayne Thomas. He's making catches like that. I mean, this guy is absolutely amazing. Now, it could be possible that some of them do transfer out at the end of the season, but I'm really hoping it's not this man right here because Dwayne Thomas is just a beast. And after having a great first season being the offensive coordinator for Charlotte, and this season was extremely successful as we would win a bowl game in our very first year as OC. But now Buster Biggs' career is going to lie in your guys' hands, as we can either stay at Charlotte for one more season and try to get better job offers by having another great year, and we would still have players like Max Brown, including all of our running backs, most of our receivers, including my favorite one, Dwayne Thomas, and we would even have Colin Weber, who's the best player on this team, for another season. Or we could become the head coach for another American Conference team, USF, or move to the CUSA and take over Western Kentucky. Comment down below how you want this series to progress, whether you want me to stay at Charlotte or go to one of those other 2 schools. And if you made it this far in the video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and check out this Arizona State dynasty while you're at it.